People saw that picture, they were convinced that it was an alien spacecraft or some kind of flying saucer.
I believe that grays are real. I believe that grays are here.
Every story has a core of truth, and the question is, what is that core?
Planet Earth is home to several amazing relics from bygone eras, structures that appear to defy the technological capabilities of their time due to being overly large, heavy, or intricate. Consequently, there are others who believe the ancients who constructed the Egyptian pyramids, the Nasca lines, and others were following an alien blueprint. Perhaps the people who built these sites weren't from our world. To be sure, it's entertaining to speculate on whether or not aliens have visited Earth. But today, in this video, we show you some archaeological artifacts that provide strong evidence that in the distant past, aliens walked among us. The Starchild skull, Mexico. In February of 1999, writer and lecturer on the subject of alternative knowledge, Lloyd Pye, acquired the skull of the Starchild. According to Pye, the skull was discovered around 1930 in a mine tunnel around 100 miles southwest of Chihuahua, Mexico. The skull is unusual in a number of ways. Based on an analysis of the upper right maxilla found with the skull, a dentist concluded that it belonged to a child aged 4.5 to 5 years. The inside volume of the Starchild skull, on the other hand, is 1,600 cubic centimeters, which is 200 cubic centimeters greater than the average adult's brain, and 400 cubic centimeters larger than an adult of similar stature. The orbits are round and shallow, and the optic nerve canal at the bottom rather than towards the back. Front sinuses do not exist. The back of the skull has been flattened, although not by force. Bold, a forensic DNA lab in Vancouver, British Columbia, discovered standard X and Y chromosomes in 2 samples obtained from the skull in 1999. Bold failed to extract DNA from the maxilla. Later testing at the University of London's Royal Holloway Institute in 2004 showed mysterious fibres in the skull bone and a reddish residue in the cancellous bone, neither of which were known or recorded to exist previous to the discovery. Despite opposition from established science, the skull has piqued the imagination of those investigating UFOs and alien life forms. Some believe it is the skull of a non-human or a human-non-human hybrid, based on the shape of the skull resembling the usual grey alien representation. Lloyd Pye believes the Starchild skull is the result of alien genetic engineering, resulting in a human-alien hybrid. Stone spheres of Costa Rica. Costa Rica is well known for its extensive collection of nearly perfectly round stone balls. To understand more about the stone spheres that dot the Costa Rican landscape, we must go back to the early 1930s. The United Fruit Company was looking for new property for a banana plantation at the time. They discovered an excellent location in the Diquas Valley. This valley is near the Pacific Ocean in western Costa Rica. As workers began to remove the dense jungle lands, they discovered something unusual: stone spheres. Some were merely a couple inches across, others were enormous. The largest spheres were 7 feet in diameter and weighed 16 tons. The stones were first studied scientifically in the late 1930s and early 1940s. Approximately 300 stone spheres have been discovered in Costa Rica to date. Many of the stones are not completely spherical. They are nevertheless surprisingly smooth. Many of them, according to scientific measurements, are extremely close to being perfect spheres. So where did these spheres come from in the first place? Or are they even from this world? Speculation immediately arose among the locals, and numerous myths were developed to account for the mysterious stone spheres. Some people, for example, believe they were delivered to Earth by aliens. Others believe they are related to the long-lost continent of Atlantis. Many non-experts believe the so-called Diquas spheres were utilized for astronomical purposes, while others believe they indicated the way to key locations. The truth is that no one knows for certain, and this historical mystery may never be solved. The Chibchan people who previously inhabited Costa Rica and other parts of Central America perished with the Spanish conquest, and with them the purpose of the spheres. The French UFO Coin. UFO investigators claim that a 17th century French token provides absolute proof of UFO sightings hundreds of years ago. The ancient jeton, a type of coin used for counting, displays a strange round entity that resembles a flying saucer. Some have even claimed that this is the biblical Ezekiel's wheel, which they believe is the Bible's own story of a UFO encounter. Skeptics have proposed a variety of theories throughout the years, including that it resembles a drifting mushroom, flower, or even a shield. The token, according to Scott C. Waring, editor of UFO Sightings Daily, is proof of UFO sightings that were so common in ancient France that they were imprinted on coins. I've been looking for one of these off and on for a few weeks. It looks really amazing and is absolute proof that in the 1600s the French witnessed enough UFO sightings to decide to put some of what they saw on coins. 3,000-year-old Rocket Man. Is it reasonable to hypothesize that this stone artifact, which is 3,000 years old, is a recreation of an early rocket ship with a single passenger cabin? This figure, carved out of a yellowish-brown stone, was discovered in Tuşba, Turkey in 1973. Tuşba is today known as Toprakale. Many people believe that this figure depicts some sort of ancient astronaut who is tied to a rocket. Tuşba was originally the capital of the monarchy of Urartu, a long-lost kingdom. Although little is known about its beginnings or the people who lived there, we do know from historical sources that they were renowned metal artisans who spoke a Hurrian-like language. While it appears to be a rocket to our modern eyes, it could potentially be something else entirely. This interesting statue representing a space-suited alien-like man on a rocket is one of the most difficult pieces of evidence in the ancient astronaut theory. Many people believe it is the ultimate physical proof that otherworldly beings visited Earth in the distant past. Klerksdorp Spheres. Miners in the remote town of Ottosdal in South Africa's northern northwest province uncovered strange metal spheres known as Klerksdorp Spheres while working in the pyrophyllite mines. These dark reddish-brown, somewhat flattened spheres range in size from less than a centimetre to 10 centimetres broad, and some of them have 3 parallel grooves running around the equator. The most notable specimen appears to have been manufactured. But here's the real clincher. These metallic objects were discovered 3 billion years ago, when the Earth was still too young to support sophisticated life capable of creating these spheres. Many fringe groups, including Christian and Hindu creationists and believers of ancient astronauts, have expressed strong interest and suspicion in the artifacts. These fringe groups argue that the artifacts are actual or possible out-of-place artifacts, UPARTs, which are supposed direct evidence of a civilization that existed billions of years ago or before the biblical flood. The Otter-style objects, according to supporters of ancient astronauts, were manufactured by intelligent extraterrestrials. The alien hand in Peru. A mummified 3-fingered hand with 8-inch fingers was discovered in a Peruvian desert tunnel. While first inspection may lead one to believe it is nothing more than a fictitious man-made fabrication, examination by a physician in Cusco, Peru, found that it is formed of skin and bone, with 6 bones in each finger. The strange-looking hand was supposedly delivered to Brian Forster, the owner of Hidden Inca Tours in Peru, along with a miniature mummified elongated cranium and a tiny mummified torso. The local impossession of the artifacts told Forster that they were discovered in a cave in Peru's southern desert in January 2016. The tunnel was sealed off by a massive stone door, and inside were 2 sarcophagi containing clay-covered body parts. He stated that he did not want to sell the mummified body parts, but rather wanted to know what they were and to whom or what they might have belonged. Perhaps that is an alien hand after all. Russian UFO tooth wheel. A resident of Vladivostok discovered a rail-shaped metal feature crushed in one of the chunks of coal he used to heat his home when lighting the fire on a cold winter evening. The responsible citizen, captivated by his finding, decided to seek assistance from the scientists of the Primorsky Krai region. The man was astonished to learn the supposed age of his discovery when the metal piece was examined by leading experts. The metal detail was purportedly 300 million years old, but scientists believe it was made rather than formed by nature. If that's the case, how can one explain the discovery of a gearshift, a standard machine part lodged in a 300 million year old chunk of coal? The mystery of who built an aluminium gear in the early stages of time remains unanswered. The Dagger. When archaeologists first saw King Tutankhamun's gilded grandeur, they had no idea that one of the most remarkable treasures didn't originate in Egypt or even on Earth. A 34-centimetre long dagger made of iron and adorned with gold was one of the most amazing finds in Tutankhamun's tomb. The dagger was discovered during the mummy's unwrapping in 1925. The burial, however, predated Egypt's Iron Age by more than 2,000 years. Tutankhamun reigned from 1332 to 1323 BCE. A preliminary, non-destructive investigation using X-rays in 1970 revealed high quantities of nickel, implying that the dagger was composed of extraterrestrial metal. Furthermore, the blade's quality shows that it was created using a form of fine crystallized metal present in some meteorites. However, the source of the meteorite utilized for King Tut's dagger remained unknown. A report published in June 2016 linked the blade to an iron meteorite with identical iron, nickel and cobalt concentrations located near and named after Karga Oasis. The metal on the dagger came from the same meteor shower. However, other experts found that the chemical fingerprint did not exactly match. It is unclear whether the ancient Egyptians were aware of the metal's extraterrestrial origin. Ancient texts from around King Tut's time describe iron as a gift from the sky, suggesting that extraterrestrials may have gifted this specific metal piece to the Egyptians. Is there enough evidence in these artifacts to convince you that aliens exist? Let us know what you think in the comments below.